call the meeting to order. Thank you all for coming. All right, approved minutes from 1/21/20.
So moved.
Any discussion, corrections, changes? See none, all perfect. All those approved. Citizen comments? That would be the citizens out there, please. Anybody? No? Anybody? No? All right, moving on. School programs? Anything from Gail or anything? All right. Early childhood ed update? This falls under the town and city plan right now. That's over here. Do you have any updates on the meeting with the selectmen or anything? Did you get my email I sent the other day?
I did, yeah. And in regards to, the planning board, the select board, this board, we're all up to a lot of other things at the moment. So
Right.
this kind of stuff isn't going to happen until probably,
Okay.
May or June when we start to get into conversations about that.
All right, just
Yeah.
checking.
But I think it relates more to this right here anyway at the moment. So this is going to, if this happens, if business affairs B happens, then that'll become part, really, early childhood want to be kind of
We'll morph it.
sub that
Yeah.
category.
It should be changed right now. All right. Tuition contract, high school?
Yeah, no change. I think that's probably related to one of the warrant articles they
Right.
have coming up here as well, so.
That, and we haven't had any meetings, we don't have any on the plan. We had you
You
at the
did.
last
Yeah.
meeting, which was
Thank you.
lovely, which was great.
That was really great.
I haven't, have any town comments from that meeting? I haven't been approached.
I have like a couple of questions about like how does the budget hearing pertain to that? Are we there yet? Like how much do we need to be involved right now kind of questions?
I had a few say it was really nice
Yeah.
to have that and a good conversation to start, so.
Well, if anybody has further questions, by all means, they can come down with Miss Sarah Clements, and she has no problem coming and asking for information, but no, seriously, send them my way.
Okay. Were you gonna say something?
No, let's move on. I was just going to say I'm great that presentation was in place.
All right, we're on to the second reading and adoption of policies. Do you want to take these, this is the second reading, there's no changes, so I say we approve a motion at all in one fell swoop, or do you want to separate them?
I'd like to separate at least three.
Okay, so we'll do the first three? Or you want to, we'll just
We
separate
could do
them all.
one, 2, and 4. I'd make a motion to approve on second reading.
All right,
The
JICD.
policies, the JICD policy, the JICFA policy, and the hiring scale for non-contracted employees.
Okay, just so you folks know, if you don't have the agenda, the first one's on student conduct, discipline, and due process. Second one's on hazing. The third one's the hiring scale for non-contracted employees. Motion?
So moved.
Second. Great. Any discussion or any changes, anything? It's the second reading, so we should be good. Okay, all those in favor?
All right.
All right. All right. So, motion for second reading adoption on DDDD agenda format. Someone to second it, then we can talk about it.
I'd like to table it, so I'm not going to second it.
You're not gonna say, it's the second reading though. You said it's the second reading.
What do you want to change about it, Terry?
What?
So,
What do you wanna change or make changes to for?
Well,
Because we didn't discuss it. We didn't discuss it last time, or we had the policy meeting. It went through the policy committee anyway, so.
I just wanted to aware that came out of the policy.
Yep. It was in the minutes from the policy meeting, last month.
I would just like to table it for the new board to discuss, because it's a board policy, so it's kind of, to me, it's having a change of the board policy at the last meeting of the board, I think is just out of place. I'd like to do it at when the new board convenes in May.
What do these initials stand for? I'm sorry.
Oh, it's board policies, agenda policies.
It's just the format of the agenda for the BDD. We're not
So-
really sure.
Yeah.
No, Kevin can probably answer.
So there are a number of policies, hundreds and hundreds of policies that are are generated for school districts. So these come from, like the New Hampshire School Board Association. So they try to put all of the instructional policies as, certain letters. Student-related issues are typically the J's. So there is a rhyme and reason for those. If you were to go to the New Hampshire School Board Association, or even online, and look at the SU9 website, go to Jackson, take a look at policies, they're broken up, and that's what you'll see. You'll see governance, you'll see fiscal responsibility, you'll see student issues, instructional issues, personnel, and each grouping of those starts with one of those letters.
So it's not an acronym,
No.
that's what you're thinking.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Okay, I guess we can table it.
I mean, it's up to you guys, I'm not gonna,
Did you have
I'll be
something
voting
to
no,
table?
but
Well,
I'm not
so
gonna be, I don't
if
need-
somebody made a motion to table, it's not debatable, right?
Right.
what was the
And
second of those?
and if you get a second, so you should probably do one or the other, either make a motion to accept it and then discuss it, and then somebody can make a motion to table. Or if somebody wants to make a motion to table, then you just, somebody seconds it and you vote to table.
I make a motion to table it. Second.
Yeah, I'm
All
fine
right.
with having a discussion.
So we just have to keep putting this back on the agenda. All right, consider election, personnel actions, election of Kathy Byrne for part-time instructional aide.
That's exciting.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice fact.
Make a motion.
Kate, did you second that last one?
Oh, no, I said it was exciting, but yes.
That's what I meant.
Is that a motion?
Kathy Byrne. Was that a motion?
Yes.
No,
Motion
second?
seconded.
All right. All those in favor? That's exciting. Great.
That's so great.
Election of Jessica Della Valle as Nordic ski coordinator. She is taking on a lot, huh? All right. Motion?
We accept her as a Nordic ski coordinator, is there any way we'll be able to get her back on the board?
No, because she's working with Kevin.
What is that?
Kevin called
Yeah,
me.
Now
now
she works with for you if you approve this, so.
There'd be two things she'd have to quit, and we get her so much back on the board.
I know.
I'm just trying to limit the number of things she has to quit to come back on the school board.
Well, it'll be over by the time we want her back, so that's good, right? So we can't hire for the janitorial position either.
So moved or seconded, whatever has to happen there.
All those in favor?
Thanks for doing that, Jessica.
When does this typically happen?
She's already.
She's already been doing it for like.
So she had to do it as a volunteer because she was a school
okay.
board
I
member.
get it, because I was like, why is this happening now?
So now, the respectful piece is she's doing all the work, you have the stipend position.
Perfect. That's great.
Gail felt as though it's
That's
More than
awesome.
warranted, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, FYI to 1920 budget status report. Question, hiccups? I didn't see any hiccups.
Last, like a week ago. Nothing changed in the last couple of weeks.
No, I didn't see any hiccups or changes, so. And correspondence from Michael E. Tor. Development of master plan. Anybody want to talk?
Did you get a chance to read it?
I just know.
No?
I did. I really like, I think the things that were highlighted as things that we need to look at, I think is really, it's a great list. It sounds really wonderful, like OT, like meeting room, like all of the things that everybody kind of talks about needing space for. I think they hit everything, which is really great. Who did this? Like who helped put this together?
So this came out of the facility meeting that we had with
Okay.
Jim Hill and the architect Mike Ventura, Keith, and Gail, and John Stokey was there.
Nice.
And really kind of coordinated by Jim, because we've kind of been all over the place, but this Jim kind of put it together and said, Mike Ventura, this is what we're looking for. So Mike Ventura developed an estimate for doing the work of an architect to Sarah was to develop plans for the master plan for the school campus. He's planning to, he will be planning to interview staff interview school board members, probably hold a couple public hearings in order to discuss kind of what his findings are. But the idea is to kind of do an analysis of our campus to see what, if anywhere, we can build out to, what spaces do we have that can be used differently, and to come up with ideas for that, because we've been spinning our wheels in the mud as far as things like space for custodial equipment, meeting spaces for staff, space for preschool is my number one issue that I'd like to find. And we've kind of been going off in lots of different directions and never really coming up with any kind of concrete answer. So this is kind of what it coordinated off. And to see, do we have space to put a preschool in? Do we have space to build custodial equipment for custodial equipment? Do we have space that we can build in the building for staff to meet? And we all have our different ideas, whether it's the upstairs, the basement, or building other places on the campus that we have. And so this is just a way to kind of use professional services to determine, do we have space? How can we use that space? And then kind of get ideas of how much it may cost to develop that space. And so this is a plan to coordinate those kinds of ideas. And at the last meeting, we didn't have this, so when we were trying to develop Article 6,
For 15.
we kind of put a $15,000 placeholder in it. We really didn't know what the estimate was going to come back at, but I was kind of thinking it was going to be in the $5,000 to $10,000 range, and the estimate came in at just under $10,000. So that's where that's at. And I mean, I think it would make sense if we to reduce Article 6 by 5,000, if we can, Kevin, at this point.
Yeah, just, first of all, thank you for doing this. I think that Michael has done this very well.
Yeah.
Just for information purposes, this doesn't include any drawings or any plans per se. So this would be just to go through the programming piece. So if you wanted to do something beyond that, then that would be an additional cost, so.
But
But
you want to leave it at 15.
It's actually not a bad idea to leave it at 15, because if we get to the point at some point in there where we do need drawings done or engineering estimates to be done, it's not a bad placeholder to have. If come the end, if it gets approved and come the end of June 2021 and we haven't spent it, then we can kick it back so that it doesn't affect the tax
But if
rate.
we want to move forward, it would be easier for us to communicate with the drawing.
Yeah,
So,
that's-
like for
yeah,
community
yeah.
forums and stuff. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we'll change that when we get to that.
Sarah's got a question.
No, it's a comment yet, but all right, Sarah. Yes.
There's a question about what you were talking about.
Yes.
The plan that you just have right now, will that be included on the e-news so we can see it and read it? The papers that you have, will that be included in the email, the minutes of your meeting?
I don't see why we couldn't do that, actually. I mean, ordinarily, you wouldn't take kind of, I mean,
We're going to take letters.
It's a letter.
it's an estimate from the architect to us, so I mean, it's business correspondence, but I think since it's been shared with the whole board now, we actually do have to include it in the minutes, so it'll be included in the minutes, which will go to e-news, so.
It's
My
essentially,
reason for asking is I just thought it would put it out there for people that are interested, and also to let us know what that money is for. If you didn't come to this meeting,
Right.
if it's in your warrant article, then you can say this is in reference to Article 6 or something.
And it's not a negotiation that we're having with them or anything, so this one, we actually do have to publish it, so it's a moot point.
it's essentially just a list of all the things that have come up continually over time of what the space needs are over there.
And Jim Hill really has done a good job, I think, of working with Kevin, because Kevin does a great job all the time. We're all over the place a lot of times and stuff, and I don't know how you guys track this from us all the time, but Jim did a really good job, and John Stokey did a really good job of communicating to Mike Couture kind of what we're after. And then Mike did a really good job of putting together an estimate for the work that needs to be done. So I think it's a great way to finally kind of try to get some professional services here so that we can get on track with what we're doing.
Great. That's awesome. Okay. Superintendent?
Well, since Gail's not here, I'll brag a little bit about your Jackson Grammar School. I had a great invite from 2-3 teacher Margot Robert, who the kids were studying Africa. And for those who aren't aware, my daughter's in the Peace Corps, and we went to visit, my wife and I. So she said, "Would you be willing to share some pictures and some videos?" And I had the best time. I spent about 45 minutes to, an hour with the kids, and they loved the videos. But what was, it was good for me to get kind of back in the classroom and plan. And I spent all weekend, putting these things together. But what was awesome was that I got the thank you letters from the kids. Oh, and they drew pictures of some of the things that they saw. But they were just, Ms. Robert must do just an awesome job of following up. Because sometimes, you may have a guest speaker or a presentation, and it just sits there. But you could tell through the writing that these kids did, that they really took it to heart had a good understanding of culture, of the animals, and you could tell they weren't scripted, but the follow-up was some of the pieces that, have you heard a lot of salam alaikums with the kids, right? Good morning, Jamwali, good morning with the kids, and so even the pictures. So I took pictures of the letters and sent it to my daughter, and she was extremely excited. But that was just another example of what a great opportunity kids have in your school, the K through 6 school, and it was really neat for me to get in there and see them. Otherwise, as far as what's going on in the big picture, the strategic plan is well underway. We've had district-wide 2 big community forums. Jen has been a member of the steering committee, done a nice job. And then most recently, yesterday, there was a design team meeting on Portrait of a Learner. So it's really looking at what are those competencies we want from all of our students for K through 12. So, and that is not all school people. There are a lot of different representatives out there, business community, you name it. And about 30 people are on it. So they're specifically tasked with a project. They will have to meet again, and then moving forward in April, there'll be another big community event. So please stay tuned, get involved, and make that happen. Other than that, it's budget hearing time for just about every district in Mount Washington Valley, and hopefully we have safe direction.
How many calls did you get this morning to define where the PLC was?
I don't get those calls. I get other calls on days like today, but that was not one.
Yeah, if anybody wants to be part of the design committee or focus groups, those are coming up in the next few weeks. So we have a bunch of those meetings going on as well. And then feel free to step in there. Any more citizen comments? Yes?
I'm just curious, can I ask you, Mr. Richards, how many parking spaces are there for students at Kennett?
At the high school, I want to say there are at least 200, and then they put on some other parking, additional parking. So at least 200, I know of, potentially more.
The reason I'm asking is because we've had a gentleman who's come to the selectmen's meeting, it was over across the e-news about our carbon footprint. And I was curious as to how many parking spots we have for students, because also too, I've seen students in Conway about the climate control and the carbon footprint. And my thought is we have a school bus, we have school bus drivers, and could you give me, or would you have on hand or in the back of your head, how many of our students use our buses here at Jackson?
Oh,
Well, I'll come in and I'll bring a piece of paper.
I will tell you, if I might, Madam Chair, one of the pieces that you would want information on is how many students drive due to other obligations. And when I say that, are they staying after school for athletics, performing arts? Do they have jobs after school?
Correct.
Do they have part? So depending upon the time of year would dictate that as well. But
Well, I think that would show too, because I think you have to keep a log, don't you, of students on your buses and so on?
they don't do a daily attendance.
Right, but you'd get a pretty good fluctuation if it was something like that, or if it's just students who have vehicles drive. And, you know,
Yeah.
I guess I'm older, so I remember when we as parents, you didn't have 2 or 3 cars, and you were able to go and pick your student up after they got back from their game away, or if you weren't able to attend. And that was a good focus time for family too. But, you know, I'm just curious, because I see these young people and I see all of this about our carbon footprint, and yet, you know, I see the bus going with not, you know, maybe 5 students on it. So I'm just interested in that.
I will tell you, we did study it at the middle school in Conway due to rerouting buses when the rec center came in.
Right.
And I will tell you, more than half of the students arrive by private vehicle. And that just is, and they get picked up by private vehicle.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you know, and I think that the world is different now, Sarah.
Oh, I agree.
That, especially for folks up in Jackson and Bartlett, that's a long ways away.
It's
You know?
50 miles.
Yeah,
Did it many times.
yeah.
And I mean, I mean, things have, a lot of things have changed. I mean, buses are much more efficient than they used to be. Cars are much more efficient than they used to be. We live our lives differently, but I can tell you, as someone who rode that bus I got on the bus at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I got off the bus at 6:45 at night every single day. And I try to prevent my son from having to go through that. So I'm down there at the high school picking him up often from school so that he doesn't have to ride the bus for 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes every single day, just one direction. It's not smart to do that, and it's not good for the environment to do that. But it's, you know, so it's good to hear, you know, people that want to question it. Why are you doing that? And, you know, did I suffer for having to ride the bus for nearly 2 hours every single day? Not a bit.
It also has a lot to do with privilege.
Mm-hmm.
So your son has the privilege of you having the time and energy and effort to allow his like ease of going back and forth to school, where a lot of families don't. And it's, yeah.
But when you go to the high school to either to drop your kid off or to pick them up, you'll learn that there is an awful lot of kids at the high school that are not riding the buses, and not just because they're parking there, but because their parents are there picking them up. Traffic at the high school is an absolute zoo because of it.
And the
All
kids that don't have that opportunity have the right to ride the bus.
All of the schools, it's like that.
But we should be thinking about those things when we do that.
Well, as I say, I've heard students, and I've seen students at these, not protests, but just to make us aware of what's going on, you know, holding their signs. And then someone asked me, and I said, I'll ask. So I'm asking. But it is, they want us to do things for their future and the world, and I'm just saying this is one of the kind of that we have. So I just thought I'd
Valid
thank you.
point. That's an
I love
excellent point, yep. School board, set date for next meeting, we're good for next Thursday, March 5th, 6:30. School district meeting at 7. So everybody knows.
Good?
Okay, signing we've done. Do we have any non-public this evening?
No.
We should hold that.
All right. Call the meeting adjourned.